how testosterone gets made. Men and women, I mean, it's quite an intricate process. So we need to know just where it gets made and all that.
Yeah, so I think we'll keep it very basic. But basically, if your testes make the testosterone in the Leydig cells from cholesterol. So that's the first building block that you have is the cholesterol, and it's made from the cholesterol. And then you've got the local production, but you've got a central control in the system. So if the local production goes up, then you'll suppress it at the central level.
Yeah, and that's how I normally discuss it with the clients that come to us as well. Little gland inside your brain that tells the testes, or in the women, the ovaries, to make the testosterone. And then once it's made, it reads, okay, is it enough? If it's not enough, it ups the LH, or the luteinizing hormone. And if it is enough, it keeps it at that level. So it's a negative feedback loop, pretty easy to understand, very much like thyroid stimulating hormone with the thyroid. And yeah, I mean, then testosterone is made there from young. It goes up into puberty. It gets a really big spike, especially in the boys, and then early adulthood, and then at around 30 we turn around and say, okay, but
yes, yeah, so it does reaches its max around about 18 to 20, keeps it there for a while, and then 30 it starts to decline over time. And that's a normal cycle. So you lose a little bit over time, up to 50, usually around about 50. And I mean, we're talking now about just the normal things that can happen with testosterone and healthy aging. We talk about people that had normal testosterone before, so they had a normal levels in their life, and now suddenly, slowly, it starts to decline and you start to get symptoms. So in that group, around about 50 is often the time where people complain about symptoms related to low testosterone. It can happen earlier, and I think, the approach for the young person and the older person is absolutely completely different. And one needs to ask a lot of questions around what you do in this sphere.
Okay, because maybe before we go to what's bad, let's talk about what's good about testosterone. So
why do we need testosterone?
Yeah.
I think that's the first step, is what does it do in the body? So obviously in puberty, that plays a big role in the development of the male, in muscle mass, in genitals, and hair growth patterns and things like that.
Drive and mood. I think that's. I think people need to understand, if you're a man, what you felt at 21, you can break the world. You can fall off a bridge and pretty much still regenerate. So you've got strong bones. You can run fast and far. So you've got good red blood cells. You've got good muscles. You've got strong muscles. So all that is part of, obviously you've got a bigger sex drive than you have at 45. All that is testosterone. I mean, testosterone's not just testosterone, but it's interaction on the different parts of the body. Very little brain fog, good sleep, all that type of things is what testosterone does in the body. And then the decline is obviously the opposite.
The opposite of that. And so it's the vitality hormone, basically. And hence, when we get older, we lose that. We lose the edge, if you can put it that way. And mostly it's not the sexual things that people complain about in the practice with us. It is the brain fog, or the loss of drive, or just a lack of energy later in the day, things like that they complain about, which might point to a low testosterone, but it can be many other things as well. And I think that's very important to understand. You need to see the person as a whole to make decisions on their health.